Hi, and welcome back. I'm Emily, and today we are going to make some kind of organizational thing. I got these really cute little boxes at Michael's. I've also seen them at the Dollar Tree. They were $1 at Michael's as well. And I don't know what I'm going to do with these things, but I'm going to paint them pink. So I've decided that I'm going to be inspired by Pepto Bismol. I think I did a pretty good job with the color. My craft space is bold and has lots of different colors in it. It's got oranges and yellows and blues and blacks, and so I am not scared of having a bright color in my craft area. So I mixed together some paints, and I'm going to first just do it really, really lightly, which will help the paint dry a lot faster, and then I will be able to do little thicker coats on top without having to waste a lot of paint. I'm obsessed with these little boxes. The wood's really sturdy. I mean, they were just $1, so I'm not expecting a ton. At Michael's, they only had 5 of the little ones with the little knob, and then I got one with the punch out of a heart in it. So I figured I would just kind of give it a try to see what I could figure out in this situation. So in my head right now, I'm going to put them 3 on the bottom and then 3 on the top. I put the heart in the middle on the top. It does not end up that way, but I really like what happens in this whole process. I think sometimes when you go into a project with it all figured out in your head, you're only setting yourself up to like be super upset and disappointed. So I really like to kind of go into especially these projects just to have fun. And I mean, I had a great time, and this pink is wild. And it looks like there's a lot of paint in there. I ended up giving the rest of it to my daughter who was playing next to me. You'll see her randomly in this video with her little hands popping in. But she painted a different little container box that she likes to paint wood things. So we have lots of fun at the Dollar Tree. It's become my favorite place lately. So I'm going to just do a really, really, really light layer. I'm trying to go with the green, but I'm also trying to make sure that I get everything blended in. This is one of those littles with a knob that already came attached. And I am going to just really get around there and try to make sure I get everything covered. And I'm not painting the whole boxes. I'm going to just do the front and then a little tiny bit at the top because I don't want to waste my time. So this is where we're going to start stacking, and these were $1. So they're not perfect. They are not the same size. They're not going to be the most, this is not going to be perfect. And I'm okay with that. This is just to hold my little things that I have. So I'm fine with it not being the most perfect thing in the world. If I was making this woodworking myself and had a measuring tape, and I would make sure it was perfect, but this is just a fun little project that is going to make me happy every time I see this Pepto Bismol pink of a station. So I've started the first 3, and in my head I'm going to use these as the bottom ones, but it does change once I kind of have them all stacked. I do like it more of a vertical where it's like 2, 2, and 2. So I'm going to I use wood glue first, which I also got at the Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to use some hot glue just to kind of help things set a little faster. And I stopped painting these after one point because I was like, oh, this is such a waste of, oh, there was Margot's hand. It was kind of a waste of time. So I decided to just kind of paint them all together. And I do the ones that aren't painted an extra little coat so it kind of matches up. I mean, pink is pink at one point here. So I'm using my hot glue gun. And oh, guys, I bought these awesome giant glue sticks and they don't fit my gun. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do with these glue sticks that are giants. So I could have used my clamps on this, but did I? No. And it's okay. There's just one little tiny gap in one of them, but it's totally fine. You can't really, unless you're looking for it, you don't really even see it. I'm just pretty much letting the hot glue set before I can kind of start handling things again. The wood glue did say it needed about 30 minutes to dry, so that's fine with me. I'm just going to be painting along while it dries all the way. So I'm going to start painting rest of the little edges, and this is still just that first coat, so it just needs to kind of help seal in the wood, and it's not really supposed to be 100% perfect. So that's okay. And then I will do some more Pepto Bink Pink on the rest of it as soon as it's all dry. but I am just making sure that if any paint leaks into like the little cracks or like into the inside of the boxes, that I am going through and kind of flattening it and like making sure it looks nice and smooth, because I do want to make sure all the boxes get in there really nicely. So there was that little tiny gap there up at the top, but I just kind of put some paint in there and it kind of helped seal it up. So I'm doing the second layers now. There's just a lot of painting, so there's no reason you guys need to watch all of that. But I am making sure that there's no little flops and big chunks of paint. So this second layer looks really, really good. This is kind of the color I wanted to go for. I wanted to see the wood in there, but I didn't want it too much. Oh, so this is the solution I figured out. So if I took a small button and then I put a big button, oh, there's Marco again, on top of it, it would have like a little, like the same look. And then I'm going to cover this up with a little bit of paper and wood glue. But I figured out that I can use this system for all of my wood veneers. I have a lot more still, but the ones that I have the most of, oh, here's my awesome bloom. Oh, I love this thing. So the little one that I use the buttons for, I'm going to actually put all of the buttons in that one. So this way, when I am wanting to work, well, I never work with buttons, but I have a lot of buttons. But like the hearts, I use the hearts pretty much every layout that I do. So I glued one of the bigger hearts on the knob that came with it, and then I filled in all of my heart wood veneers in there. And somehow the sequins traveled down to the hearts. But I really like how this all worked out. Like I said, I had no clue what I was going to do with this. But I really, really love that I just kind of went with my brain. And I mean, I trust myself creatively to just kind of lead me down the right path. I believe in little happy accidents like this. So here's all of my wooden numbers that I keep collecting. These, I think I got them for Christmas, like for the December daily, and I always forget to use them. So I'm making sure that I have my own little spot on that. Here are some like little banner ones that I never use that I always forget about. So now they have their own little home. For the numbers, I looked for like a hashtag because that's technically the number sign, but I couldn't find one in there. So I just used all a 0 because I don't use the zeros that much for my numbers. So I'm putting my butterflies in there. Here's some more hearts. I'm going to fill up my stars because I forgot to put the stars in there. But I really think that this is really fun. I am excited to be able to craft with this, and that's the whole point really behind it. So there's my stars, and look how nice and cute it looks in there. I'm super pumped. And then my hearts, my numbers, which has got the 0 on it, the little banners, then my buttons. So you can't even tell that that one didn't have a little thing on it. So I'm really excited about it. It was because they're dollar, they're not the same size. I had to move some around, but I'm really happy about it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.